Good evening, fellow time travelers. I've been invited to speak about the future, which is a subject I know just enough about to be dangerous, and not enough about to be useful. So rather than predict what's coming, let's take a friendly look at what keeps happening. History don't repeat itself, they say, but it sure does rhyme, which is a comfort if you like your mistakes in fresh costumes. We keep one eye on yesterday and both eyes on tomorrow, and still manage to bump into the present like a fence post in the fog. A man will predict the future with great confidence, and then act surprised when it behaves like a mule. Every new invention shows up polite as a preacher on Sunday, shaking hands and promising to help with the chores. By Thursday, it's reorganized the household, borrowed your chair, and taught the dog new opinions. We call this progress, mainly because disruption sounds rude. Take the stirrup, just a little loop for your boot, hardly worth a sermon. But once a fellow could stay seated while swinging a sword, he got ideas above his station and below the belt. Before long, there were knights, landlords, boarders, and taxes, all hitching a ride on a piece of leather. History likes to work quiet in the shop and loud in the consequences. The printing press was built to give scribes time to digest their gruel. Instead, it taught ideas how to run away from their parents. We took up reading, arguing and correcting kings. Religion got into lively arguments with itself, and truth began traveling without a chaperone, while ink proved harder to arrest than criminals. A machine for books rewired belief itself. Then came machines for the farm, saving backs and packing neighbors off to the city. Crops grew roots while porches emptied. We grew more corn than conversation, and the land grew wealthy on fewer names. Efficiency smiled and called it a fine bargain. Then came steam, puffing in like a horse with bad manners, smoking with ambition and promise and muscle without sweat. Factories rose and time clocks replaced sunrise. Children learned to punch in before they learned to fish. Progress traded nature's schedule for production quotas. Electricity chased the dark into the shadows. Night became a suggestion instead of a rule. Light obeyed switches while cold sat politely in boxes. Voices outran distance, leaving patience behind. Civilization began humming to itself like a cat that discovered indoor living. Computers showed up as quiet clerks who never complained. Work turned into glowing rectangles and blinking cursors. Then the internet connected us so thoroughly we trip over each other in our own living rooms. Attention went scarce. Opinions ran wild. We gained the whole world in our pockets, and our thinking had to compete with notifications. Every generation predicts comfort and sensible behavior. Every generation receives surprises and fresh embarrassment. History keeps rhyming because human optimism keeps writing the chorus. Now along comes artificial intelligence, clearing its throat like a newcomer at the poker table. Some say it'll teach every child and fix every mess, and finally let humanity take a well-earned nap. That sounds pleasant, provided somebody sets the alarm. Others say it'll steal jobs, confuse truth, and put judgment in the hands of machines that were never properly raised. We get nervous when our tools start acting smarter than the card shark doing the dealing. Some are placing long-shot bets that machines will make us wiser instead of lazier. systems that help truth keep its footing in a slippery world. Not one grand mechanical boss of creation, but a swarm of small helpers minding their manners. History won't repeat the stirrup or the other monster inventions, but it'll rhyme with their mischief in unintended couplets. We'll predict tools and receive transformations, and someday we'll look back on this moment and admit the future behaved exactly like history, only with a better disguise and whistling a familiar tune. Thank you, my friends. I'll let the future take it from here, as I've done enough damage already. Good night.